This game needs rollback badly.
All games need rollback badly. Even Street Fighter V
Yes.
needs rollback badly.
Yeah. It's like when I say that, I really mean it because like this. I think this is the game where it's like the most I've been dedicated to a fighting game where I like entered Evo semi seriously before it like went to shit.
For what
I
it's worth,
mean,
though, I remember having no trouble with this game's netcode.
there's like some weird quirks with it. It's like we could do better, like where we don't have to like pick two specific stages in order to get it to like work well.
So this is a game made by French Bread. It's like essentially a spiritual sequel to Melty Blood.
Uh, Melty Blood wasn't their IP, so it's like the BlazBlue to Guilty Gear's Melty Blood. But there are a lot of things that make this different from Melty Blood, even though it shares a few of the same things, like shields and reverse beating,
And Eltnum.
and yes, Eltman.
Right, they made their own character. They made a few characters, I think, for Melty Blood, and then one of
Yeah,
them made it into this game. Because I
yeah,
mean,
because
well,
originally this was going to be Melty Blood HD, but I think they just changed it to an original thing at some point.
I do like Melty Blood, so and I really like this game.
I do not like playing Melty Blood. It's a little bit too buttery for me. But I like this game a lot more because the hits feel a lot meatier and like there's just so much freeform stuff that you can do in this game thanks to its combo system.
Oh no, this is definitely like a big improvement, but I do think that Melty Blood is like, as like a very early anime fighter, is actually like pretty fun. But
Yeah, I could get that. And also, it definitely has animation in spades. Not saying that these sprites are like bad, it's just that due to their small size, they just have a lot more frames to them.
might have to do a video on that someday. But yeah, like this game is actually really good looking because these fights are very large, but like
It's like they cut most of the frames compared to Melty Blood, but the sprites are in fact very large and very detailed.
they look more like ArcSys sprites, but they're actually like much better, I would say.
And then Arxis was like, hey, why don't we butcher these for BB Tag?
Hey, we'll get to it.
I still hate how they fucked up most of the uni characters in BB Tag. Like, Merkava's jumping, like, one of his jumping normals is misaligned in its animation.
Oh god, yeah, Merkava is like just really weird in that game in general.
I mean, he's also weird in this game, but, like, as a Merkava main myself, and the reason why we picked this particular video is because they just did so many weird things to him in BB Tag. No worms,
BB tag
no...
is a thing. I do want to get to that at some point, but as far as actually explaining what this game is like, it's I feel like it's just like the best anime fighter out there. Like if you ever ask like what anime fighter means, like it's just this or Melty
Yeah,
really,
you really should just point them to this.
because this is like like it has everything that anime fighters are like kind of known for, but it's also like just really solid. Just like there's a
Yeah,
lot of good
because, no...
design decisions. It's also like very ranged based. It feels like half the cast are zoners, but
I remember in early editions of the game, Akatsuki had a lot of trouble, like, being good until they made a bunch of adjustments to him. Oh yeah, Akatsuki from Akatsuki Blitzkampf is a guest character in this game.
that's another thing we should look at some point. But yeah, I'm a really huge fan of Akatsuki Blitzkampf and the fact that he's in this game because it's
Yeah,
great.
that's funny that, like, at first I actually didn't like this series, but this is back when it was, like, bad. Like, you should see vanilla Uni footage back when, like, there are so many infinites with inconsistent damage scaling. It was just like the Wild West.
I played this on PS3 at some point very early on and just like did not get into it. I remember just being like, oh no, I think
Yeah.
I was kind of like just in the middle. I was just like whatever, but like playing it on Steam again. Uh, I think yeah, it was like it was on Steam and then I just grabbed a PS3 and then pulled it out and I was like, you know what? Let's just see what this game is like for real. And then I was like,
Uh,
it's actually pretty cool.
was it X late or X latest?
I don't know, these naming schemes are awful.
Yeah, because, like, the one that I was referring to with the Infinites was just Under Night in Birth, which was, like, the arcade version, which never got a home port. The first home port was X late, and then X latest, and then the free update with X clear.
So terrible. But I do like, I like this game a lot, but I don't think actually does very well on the character design front. It's actually...
I really like Merkava a lot, and that's, like, the biggest thing I can say about its character designs.
That's about it, yeah. Like, there's a lot of, like, fine ones. Merkava is pretty cool, and then there's just, like, it's not, like, terrible, it's just very bland. The writing is
Like
also
Nana
not
said.
great.
I remember X late had a pretty weird translation, and a lot of the stuff got fixed in Clear. Like, a lot of the move names were improperly translated, and then they fixed it in Clear. Like, Hyde's Infinite Worth was just called Roar instead of Raging Roar. They fixed that.
Oh yeah, this game also, there's like a little in-joke that we have, because, if you pay attention to, like, the UI and the design of this game, it's just, they just decided to write novels. Like, every single screen is just full of text that is just nonsense. Like, every character has, like, a bio, which is just, like, a description of their personality and written in a really, like, archaic sort of way. I don't know, it's strange.
Word salad.
Yeah. The story also seems pretty, anime.
Yeah. Somehow I understand it a lot more than BlazBlue's. But then again, it's because it's like there's like really only like one story instead of like 4 overlapping visual novels.
Yeah. I do like, they have a lot of, like, character archetype stuff here, like the, in terms of, like, playstyle. Because, Chaos here, which is a name for a character, is, he's, what do you call it, like a puppet character? He has, like, he has, like, a pet, and you can, like, control them, and have them chain specials together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I hate fighting him, but like I think my least favorite character to fight is Byakuya, because goddamn, I hate webs. I hate the Loverhead.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, Byakuya has like this anti-air poke thing with his back claws. That's a low, but if you hold it, it's an overhead.
It's brilliant. It looks the same too, doesn't it?
Yes, there's
That's
like
great.
a very slight difference in the position of his claws.
I remember making fun of, the game that would become, them fighting herds for having reverse charge motions, and then this game just has them. There's just a character that has, like, all 4 charge directions, and
Yeah.
it's awful, and I hate that. This is still going, Jesus fuck.
Even Merkava's like, wow, this is going on pretty long. Given that I'm such a big Merkava fangirl, I am like, yes, give me the Merkava lore, and that's just kind of it. Because I do find this character interesting more than just he's a Muppet with noodly arms. It's like, he's a person that got turned into a beast, but he still has some part of his humanity with him, so it's like a conflict in himself of his humanity and his desire to eat things.
So he's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf, but he's permanently a wolf. And more like a lizard thing.
I do think that his story, when you break it down, is pretty bog standard, honestly. I think he's very interesting looking, but...
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
His sprites are amazing, like they have this like kind of a color effect for these sort of like neon lines that go up his body.
Yeah?
And then they ruined that in BlazBlue, so...
Yeah, it's like... I noticed when I was looking at old clips that I took on my PS4, like, the way that it works is like, there's kind of like a darkness that scrolls down on this light, but in BB Tag they just make it change colors without even bothering to like look at the effect. They did such a bad job with the uni characters.
Yeah. They... I want to get to it later. There's a lot of things I can say about that game. It's weird. This game has the grid system, which is a system that no one understands, I promise.
Somebody said that it's like Bananas and Donkey Kong. But I actually understand how it works. But, so... Like, after a period of time based on how well you're doing by, attacking, defending properly, you get grid. And once that little, timer thing, reaches, a complete cycle, then one person will enter Vorpal. From Vorpal, you get a unique, stat boost, which is, character-specific, and if you, use the chain shift thing, you could get meter dependent on how much grid you have, and you could also cancel certain actions with it, like a Roman cancel.
So when the Vorpal is given to the person who has the most
Grid, yes.
At the time that the circle completes a cycle. So there's a very interesting dynamic where you're like trying to manage this resource against your opponents in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, because you can manually charge it, and if you use the shield and you use it right, you get a lot of grid. But if you block wrong with shield active, like you block low and then get hit with an overhead, then your grid breaks. You can't use it.
Yeah, it means you can't do certain things, and I don't know exactly what all those things are, but I know that includes air dashing, because everyone has like a forward air dash, but it's like tied to grid, so you can't use it if you've got your grid broken.
Yeah, it's actually called Assault, and it's like, it's essentially, free KOF short overhead.
Oh, right, yeah, because you can use it on the ground, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right, this idiot that I was talking about earlier, he is creepy around his dead sister, and that's all I can say about him. Get fucked.
Yeah, I don't care about this character at all. I played a character in this game who, at least at some point, was so bad that he had his own tier on the tier list.
Enkidu?
Yes.
That dude is so cool, and it's like, wow.
I don't give a shit. I mean, tier lists are one of those things, like, it doesn't really matter, so... At our level. I mean, they matter. They don't matter at our level. Like, I don't play at a level that actually means anything.
Yeah. For the most part, it does, like, kind of depend on, like, how you play, but then again, there are always going to be, like, factors that affect a character, like their matchups, their toolkit, how they can approach, etc.
This is completely unrelated to this game specifically, but I do find something that has always kind of, like, bothered me is the concept of the combo counter, in the sense that when you hit with a move that hits multiple times, it sort of erases the meaning behind gauging how many hits are in a combo via the combo counter. Because, like, for example, like, you can do like a 1-2-3 into the rapid punches with Merkava, and the rapid punches at like 10 hits, and it's like, well, it's only 4 moves. So it doesn't really, like, indicate anything anymore once you start using moves that are just like, oh, this hits 100 times. It's like, yeah, but it's really just one move, you know?
Right.
It feels like
kind of under.
It just feels like, yeah, the number at the end of the combo is kind of arbitrary based on which character you're playing and which moves you're using. It doesn't actually determine, like, anything, like, the length of a combo, you know?
Right.
I've always just found that strange.
I think the more important things about combos, other than hit, which actually isn't really that important in the grand scheme of things, is positioning, Oki, damage.
Right. I guess while this lady's on screen, I feel like mentioning that one thing that this game does really well that I really appreciate is that it's not like fan servicey in the ways that a lot of anime games are. But I suppose the same could be said of Melting Blood as well. So that's just kind of.
It is pretty restrained if you like ignore some dialogue that exists.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Because I think this lady's like the one character they have that's like that. It's like a pretty fucking modest design. So, you know, props to them.
I was like, yeah, stylish, modern girl with a sword that's like 10 feet tall.
Who has no nose sometimes.
I hate that in anime stuff. It's like, you got no nose.
I do like her personality is just she is completely oblivious all the time.
She is stupid!
Pretty much. This is This is a character with reverse charge motions and is
Apparently this is like a golem? I think I remember reading on the Undernet wiki that this character is a golem, not so much an android.
Isn't Enkidu a golem too?
In the myth where his name comes from, yes.
Ah.
Gilgamesh and all that.
It is so rare to see a young girl. Merkava is not familiar with anime. She has like a hair halo?
Yeah, that thing is called an ahoge.
It has a name. I hate this.
I'm sorry. But yeah, what other characters didn't we talk about? The poster boy, Hyde.
He's a pretty solid, like, Shoto protag guy. Like, not amazing.
He's pretty solid.
But, like, I mean, he looks pretty cool for an animated boy.
Yeah. Waldstein, who's the grappler, he's pretty fun.
Oh, dude, that dude's pretty cool. I like that guy.
Yeah. Senko's grandfather.
Yeah, he's got the Shinko arms.
Shin claws.
There you go.
Gordo, which, T, thirsts over. Grim Reaper, Grim Reaper, Grim Reaper.
He's pretty funny.
He's pretty funny.
Oh, right, I guess I'll bring that up here. When they brought these characters over to, Crosstag, they got dubbed, which is just generally kind of a mistake. Like, I don't dislike dubs, but, like, it's just, there are some characters that, like, you just can't dub them without it sounding really stupid.
Yeah, it's like fucking, Guilty Gear, when they dubbed Guilty Gear Exert in English, it's just not the same. It's like, they weren't bad voice actors, it just doesn't fit hearing Potemkin speak English.
It doesn't fit hearing Leo talk like Garen from League of Legends. That's like the one thing I remember about the dub, is that one of the guys is just fucking a guy from League of Legends, and it was really funny.
Jamison Price.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because he also voiced Tager in BlazBlue.
Ah,
oh yeah,
okay.
that's reminding me. Fucking Waldstein was voiced by fucking Torbjorn in BB Tag. I hate it. They should have gotten Saber to voice him.
Yeah, right? What was it like?
Yeah, because like fucking Wallace's Japanese voice was the inspiration for some of Wallace's things somehow in the first place.
Oh, Wallace's voice is inspired by Wallace?
Technically speaking, Wallace's voice was inspired by Waldus.
Right on. I remember Carmine had a voice. Like, I remember somebody, I think it was Nimrod, told me that he sounded like a dead ringer for CDI Link.
Oh boy, I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos!
Oh no, not that one. The cartoon Link, yeah. But it's serious, like the excuse me princess guy.
You will excuse me, Hilda.
I just and I I think my favorite part about that though is Yuzuriha, the sword lady. That is not narrowed down at all. The one we saw earlier. She has an air normal where she just uses her elbow and loudly exclaims elbow, and it's like,
yeah, in Japanese she's like, Elbow!
it's like very weird. And then the only reason I know that's what she's saying is because I heard it dubbed, where they tried to do it, they just said it again, and it's just like, it's just one of those things where when you do it in English, it suddenly becomes way weirder, because like, you lose the cadence of like someone speaking in a language that's not their normal language, and it just becomes weird.
Maybe they could have had it where she just said elbow in Japanese instead.
That would be my idea, but that doesn't ever happen. I don't know if that's a good idea to have, you know, people attempting bad Japanese, but...
And technically speaking, it would be even weirder that they would be speaking English at all, because this is... all of the Under Night characters are in Japan.
Well, I mean... that's one of those things, like, you just have to accept that they're going to speak the language of whoever the audience is. But... I don't know, it's weird. It's one of those things, like, I understand why they do it, but it still just comes off as strange. It mostly comes off as strange for me for, like, when a game that they came from, they didn't have that sort of dialogue, you know?
Yeah. Also, English Yuzuriha, I think, is Cassie Cage in MK11.
I like, it reminds me of, like, the Marth thing, when they, like, brought over, like, he was just, like, a guy who spoke Japanese in Melee, because, like, that just makes sense. Like, and I think it honestly might have been a laziness thing, but it still works for that. And then you dub them in the later games, and it's like, it just doesn't sound right, you know?
I mean, for the most part, I think, like, Martha and Roy, at least, were pretty good, like, dubs. Because, like, most of the vocalization of their, like, excerpts sound pretty close.
Oh, yeah, no, they were fine. That just, it's one of those things that just throws me off. It's like, I kind of expected it one way.
Also, Roy's voiced by Cinder from Killer Instinct. No one.
I do really like Roy's voice, actually, so that's cool. This game has music.
Oh, yeah, this game has tunes.
This game has some really good music, and music I actually really hate, but...
Yeah, Phonon's theme. The sound of the night wind sounds like fucking...
I kind of appreciate that one, and it sounds like a really classic anime tune. Like, there's like a kind of style to it that I'm alright with, even if I understand why someone wouldn't like it. It's fucking Nanase's theme that just gets me.
One...
It goes all hard. It goes really hard in that one instrument, whatever you would call that. Like a keyboard or something.
But you said Nanase's theme?
Nanase's theme is just garbage. I don't know what they're doing there. It sounds awful. Slightly weird is the fact that Akatsuki's theme in this game is just the main menu music from BlazBlue instead of his theme.
I think they did the same with Altman. I think that's why they picked War Opening instead of Reawakening. Or, no, his theme was actually just called Awakening. And it's funny that they put the unedited version of the theme in BB Tag as well as Akatsuki's regular theme.
Oh yeah, here's Anime Boy.
Yeah, here's Anime Boy. Who else didn't we... Oh, Wagner. Fucking Wagner. Like, when X Latest was, like, hot and new, there are so many Wagner players out online. It's like, the only reason why I learned how to deal with her was because there's so many of her.
Right.
Yeah, I still hate that at one point she had a move that was plus 11 on block, which also gave her 2 buffs.
Jeez. She's pretty, she's one of those characters, like, that's really good close-up, which is, like, more rare in this game, but she's, like, especially good.
Yeah.
I there's Lene, who was a character I didn't mind until I played story, like, someone's story, I think. And then I, like, got more of an idea of what kind of character she was, and I'm like, oh, that's annoying. She's, like, one of those, like, 100-year-old demon such and
It's like
such.
an ancient princess that ended up in the body of like a first grader.
Yeah, it's... Oh, is that what's
Like
going
they
on?
really just should have had it where like the princess was just with this first grader and was like, "Here are knives, go and kill."
And then Phonon is annoying.
It still kind of weirds me out that like she's a middle schooler and they're like, "Let's give her a whip."
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's entirely weird.
It's like the second time that I've seen like a young person with a whip, and the first time was whip in KOF. She's like an army general, but she's like 16.
What? That's bullshit.
Joe is like SNK pulls ages out of their ass.
I mean, they don't pull them quite as well as Arxis does, but... I just remember Phonon is just a character where, like, if you read all of her dialogue, her personality changes, like, every 5 seconds. Like, she can't really figure out what the fuck she's going for.
I thought you were gonna say if you read all of her moves, then you will certainly get hit by a full screen projectile that's an overhead, and you are not told this information.
Oh god, did she have one of those?
Yeah. She has a bunch of lows, and then she has a super projectile thing that's an overhead.
Wow. Game balance is a little weird. Like, this game is very much just up to 11 in terms of, like, how everything is, like, ridiculous.
Like, I think it was, like, pretty fine-tuned with X Latest, and then when they had the trailer for, Clear, it was like everybody losing their shit over characters doing new things, like Merkava having a backwards air dash, like Gordo with a follow-up to his Grim Reaper. Bunch of other fixes and nerfs that they did.
Oh yeah, there's also, like, the trait, or not, like, the trait, like, it's like you press, I think BC, and you get, like, a unique move.
Yeah, which are, like, range from you use this a lot, or you don't, like in Merkava's case. The one where he just spins you around and then yeets you.
That's... He has, like, a hit grab that's projectile immune or something?
Oh yeah, right, that thing that I use a lot because it helps me get closer.
I hate this lady.
I like this character's drip, but I can understand why you do not like her. I will let you know, this woman got so bored once in the canon of the story that she played with a toy train set.
That's something.
Yes, I did do all of the visual novel stuff, which was like all of the... It was like... Instead of, like, advancing the story, it was, like, all of the setup before, like, stuff in arcade mode.
Pretty cool.
Kind of. It's, like, all of the shit that Overwatch did with its trailers, but it actually had, like, an ending, even though that we don't know which one is, like, the canon ending, probably hides.
Probably.
Yeah, because, you know, main protagonist and all that.
This character, like, takes zoning up to the maximum, like, in a game that's full of, like... Because in this game, like, zoning is more so, like, long range, rather than actual, like, projectiles.
Yeah, long range, but Hilda is, like, every button of hers is a fucking projectile. She only has one normal button where she physically attacks you. It's kind of reminding me with, I remember when V was doing the design stuff for her fighting game project, one of the characters' unique traits was originally going to be all of their normals were projectiles. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And then I was like, oh yeah, Hilda. But I changed it anyways because it was kind of not a good idea.
Well, that's the sort of thing that very much depends on the design of the game, because Under Night is a game that has something like that, but I feel like the game is designed around, like, Hilda isn't, like, broken because of that, because everyone in the game, or for the most part, is, like, very long range based. So it's something you have to play carefully with.
Right. And speaking of broken, I remember when Hilda had her meter sectioned into 4 bits. Because that was her like original character trait, I guess. But now it's just like whenever she uses a super, she can get meter back from it.
her, her unique trait is that she's a badly coded mutant character.
Her unique trait was that she was quoted by Borwood.
Brilliant. Kong's Under Night.
Merkava Infinite Air Dash.
I would hate to see auto collision on these projectiles.
Yeah, I would hate to see auto collision on these attacks. Like Merkava does that spinny flip thing, and then it's just the entire country of Africa.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's like so many hitboxes where you can see every state. I mean, every country in Africa.
I do appreciate that the people getting away with the palette switching thing in 2D games for
oh yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, right. She has the asymmetrical color thing going on.
I was like really impressed when T was showing off Fighters History's Dynasties, and the character there has like an eye patch that uses the palette effect to disappear on the other side.
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
There's like one character that isn't released to the public yet in Battle Craze that we could apply this to, but it's just whether or not we want to deal with the coding behind it. And doesn't that also mean I have to make, like, the same sprites and then save them just mirrored?
We'll come back to that. I'm not
Yeah,
even sure
we'll
what you're
get
talking
there.
about. So,
Don't torment me further with your voice.
so like, Merkava is just Eddie from Exerd, right? Like the shape of his head.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's why I like Eddie's look in Exerd. Although, like, I do appreciate like each of his appearances, like in original Guilty Gear where he was like a little bit more organic, and then in Strive where he's just a creature who wants his chicken nuggets.
I shall have my revenge.
I will have my revenge, even though that you're going to eat me alive. Screen to red. Can't show that in a T-rated game.
I thought he was gonna be like, man, that was a good meal. Yummy yum, I sure do love Hilda. Alright, let's go.
Trouble Man Sandwich Super.
Christ.
Sorry.
I love his expressions of mouth closed and mouth open.
In fact, you can make him talk! Because he has mouth closed, mouth open, and then mouth open slightly bigger. So, in theory, if I were able to put in the effort, I can make him just say, stop posting about Among Us. I'm tired of seeing it. My friends on TikTok send me memes. On Discord, it's fucking memes.
I feel like the people who made Melty Blood thought they were, like, good at writing because they made a game based on a visual novel. But actually, no, that game had
You
a lot
also
of
do
its
have
own
to
writing.
consider what kind of visual novel Melty Blood is.
I forgot. Yeah, Multiple actually is its own visual novel, isn't it?
No, I was gonna say Tsukihime was one of those visual novels that has porn in it.
Well, that's like its own thing because I remember hearing that was sort of like an obligation based on the fact that it wouldn't have sold based on the audience just because like nobody was gonna buy an adult VA or
Without porn.
VN. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, when you put it that way, that does make a lot of sense.
that's basically what I heard. It was like graphic enough to be adult, but it was like, well, we can't sell it if it doesn't have porn, so they had to like shove it in, which is like one of the saddest things I've heard.
Is it sadder than what happened to Variable Geo?
Well, yeah, no, no, it's not.
Thank you. That was the right answer.
Variable Geo is like the opposite of that, where it's like, oh, we just made porn, and it's like, oh, hey, we can make fighting games too. It's weird they have that connection.
It's like Variable Geo started off as like, we want to make porn and then put it in a fighting game because we can, and then they're like, we want to make it more of a fighting game and less porn, and then like they got bought out, and then the new people who own them were just like, let's just make it all porn, and then it was really terrible.
Yeah, I don't think anyone liked it at all.
Yeah, not a single soul.
Like, as far as I know, not even like perverts liked it. It was just like, Variable Geo was better. Because it had character designs. We should talk about VO someday.
Yeah, at some point, but BlazBlue lingo?
BlazBlue as a mouse cursor. And the Zelda fairy music. Alright, so this is a game.
Dang, this kind of takes me back, even though that I didn't play the first BlazBlue. But, someone, Toshin Mori, was like, hey, I want to make my own Guilty Gear, and he did.
Yeah, this was like, I guess, a spiritual successor to Guilty Gear back when... I'll say when Guilty Gear wasn't doing anything, they seemed like they were always doing something. Don't know how many damn ports they made, but...
It was because of, like, copyright issues with, Sammy
that's
and
right.
Sega. That's why they didn't get, like, a proper sequel until they just bought the rights to Guilty Gear.
So, things I know about this game, it has some of the worst characters ever. It has a really good dub.
I love this English dub, and people were, like, so upset when in, Central Fiction, it didn't come back.
Alright, so, I remember, yeah, Bang, who... thought that was supposed to be Bong, but whatever.
Bong!
I thought that was...
The weed-smoking ninja.
Either way, he has like a giant nail?
I think that was important to the lore, but knowing BlazBlue's lore, I don't know the fucking answer.
I'm gonna say I don't care, because that's how I feel.
I mean, I also don't care!
Ragna the Blood Edge.
Yeah, they were trying a little bit too hard to be like, how do we make Soul Bad Guy cooler? We name him Ragna, as in Ragnarok, and his surname is the Blood Edge.
I always got the impression that he was supposed to be, like, Dante-esque. Like, I think it's just the color scheme.
I can see that.
He is just... Yeah, he's just Diet Soul Bad Guy.
He has, like, a big red jacket. He's got Japanese Hakama hands. Also, funny thing about his sword, it has, like, a bullet chamber in it, and they're like, no, ignore this. This doesn't do anything.
It's a gun blade?
It doesn't shoot anything, is the thing. It just turns into a scythe and has, like, soul-sucking powers.
Okay, that's what you look like in this game.
Yeah,
I don't remember the art looking so weird.
the art has been like incredibly inconsistent throughout the series. It's like this art just looks fucking weird.
Oh, are you here as a patient? I'll take that as a no. The Renegade is turning. Battle one.
What a shit character. Holy shit. Like,
When it comes to like Guilty Gear stuff, it's like you could say that Lychee is just jam, but they play nothing alike. The only thing that they share is they're Chinese. And Oriental Flower, Lychee's theme just takes a lot of notes from Jam's theme, Babel Nose.
Babble Nose or Babble Noise?
No, Babel.
Ah.
This potion
Good determination.
Oh, man. Why she is weird? It's like...
She's like Donovan from Darkstalkers if you cranked it up to 100.
Oh yeah, there's like the gameplay gimmicks. There's just like... I don't know, they just made this like really just kind of milquetoast character and then just... Also just like, here's just tits. I guess at some point I'm gonna have to mention the fact that despite my distaste for this series, I think this game, I don't remember specific which one, but it has like a series of short animations they included, which are just there to explain the story? Or like establish the world. It's not like story-based, it's just like trivia about the world that this game takes place in. And
He
it's...
that hurts another hurts himself. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
This game is also no stranger to word salad.
Well, that's where Under Night gets it.
I mean, yeah, I was like reading up on stuff, and it was like Mori had some help with Under Night's designs, or at least like Hyde, because like looking back at all the unique concept art is certainly a ride.
I played this once at like a friend's house, so I didn't get much of an impression of it. It seems fine. It's like kind of simplified, I think.
Yeah, it's like it's not like everything can chain and like combos are like. Oh. I don't know how to describe it. It's like its button scheme is a lot more simpler because there's like three attacks and then your drive button, which changes depending on the character. With Ragna, it's just a move that sucks the opponent's health.
I noticed there's some sort of grid-like thing in the middle of the screen on the life bars.
That has something to do with a guard, I think, and it does not come up in any future games.
Oops.
Yeah. This game has barriers, which consume its own resource. It has bursts, like Guilty Gear. Yeah, there's even, like, gold bursts, where if you, like, hit raw, you get all of the meter.
Wow. Does he have, a dragon install?
Yeah, Blood Cane is his dragon install.
Great.
But it's like, he loses health when he has it active.
Here's that character everyone likes.
I like Tager, come on! Just look at him, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, and he's like, say goodbye to your friends after he command grabs you.
Oh, right,
Although, it is interesting how they approached grapplers differently from, like, Gear and here. They're like, what wacky thing can we do with Tager? It's like, what if the opponent came to him?
Oh yeah, just all this magnetism shit. It's,
Yeah?
it's intimidating to fight, I'll tell you that much. The only reason I would know anything about this game is because of cross-tag, but...
You must have known you'd show up on our ADAP. I do hope you're not mistaking Sector 7.
I think Tager is one of those characters I would like a lot more if he wasn't in BlazBlue.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I feel bad saying that this is actually a good design
I
because
suppose I can dispense with the formality.
it's in a game full of so much shit.
But you've given me
Also,
Like, you could say, like, the character design and, like, his moves are fine. It's just that where he is, what series he's tied to is no bueno. Because good characters exist in bad IPs.
it's true.
That one lady from Doro Hey Doro, which gets a lot of fan art on Twitter.
Well,
I mean, that's all you need, right?
it does help that she's in a manga where she's constantly naked, but anyway. Man,
Can't dodge this!
anime's got some dumb shit in it. I tell you.
Yeah, it creates BlazBlue.
Wow.
Yeah! It also does have, like, kind of similar meter to Gear, but, you actually only gain it, like, hitting and getting hit instead of, approaching your opponent and, like, getting it removed if you walk back. Although negative penalties still exist.
Wait, do we talk about negative penalty? That's
Uh,
a thing.
no.
Yeah, like in Guilty Gear, if you hold back too much,
If you, like...
the game just takes your meter away.
So, I'm fighting this dude, what do I say when I shoot a projectile at him? Just yell his name. Oh, okay.
This is a game where they just like translate everything literally, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, they really should have thought of something else instead of just him yelling, Ragnar the Blood Edge!
Is he just saying what the hell when he's using that move? I thought I was mishearing it, but that was like the third time, and he's just like, the hell?
Oh yeah, I should also, like, talk about, like, this game's sprites, because, like, they're a lot bigger and detailed than Gear's sprites, and I think that's what made this stood out. I also think that people were like, oh, this is, like, the next evolution and Gear is dead, but, Gear came back.
I don't know how much
Well,
more
BlazBlue
detailed
stuck
they are
with
than
sprites.
Guilty Gears, but it's more like they're more consistent in quality.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's, this dude.
There's the guy with the Shy Guy mask, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, rare. Yoshi's Island.
This is one of those characters that, like, it's one of those things, like, they keep it mysterious, ergo, it's very hard to care about them.
I mean, he was kind of thrown into the wayside when they introduced more characters. Like, when we get to Central Fiction, I am definitely going to say that this game does have a problem with roster bloat.
Not normally a problem with fighting games, but,
I mean, yeah, but there's, like, some characters that are, like, are you really that important to get your own character slot? But it is BlazBlue, so...
There's like 3 versions of that robot lady with no pants.
I mean, clone characters can be unique, but, like, you might as well just say 2 of them, because, like, 2 of them are just, like, the same thing.
This game. The only thing I know about Arakune is he's like she's boyfriend. That's literally it.
They worked in, like, the same facility. Kokonoe's thingamajig, Sector 7. And then Arakune was like, I want to learn more about this fucked up shit. And then he's like, oh, I'm fucked up.
Alright. This very much feels like they wanted another, like, Eddie. And it's like...
He doesn't play like Eddie's the thing, but I can see it, like, aesthetically.
Yeah, I mean, like, the character, just...
Yeah.
They wanted something like that, but they didn't. There's just nothing to grab you. It's just... It's a weird blob guy. It's like, alright.
I mean, they were pretty creative with his animations, and in future games they gave him some pretty interesting looking moves. But, like, just raw Arakune is understandably just, like, he's blobby, he's pretty simple. Oh god.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
I watched the BlazBlue anime.
I remember. I fucking love Egg. Remember that post?
Oh yeah. Fucking love Egg. This is that lady that walked in place.
Ravn of the Blood Edge, I'm placing you under arrest. The wheel of fate is turning.
Right now the blood.
I don't even know if I should go into all the things wrong with Noelle, or if I should just accept that Noelle is awful and leave it at that.
I don't like this character either, so go ahead.
So she's like some form of, I guess, police? Some sort of like agent of, I don't know.
Military official.
Yeah. And she's like a complete doormat that gets like abused by her superior. Which is like... Which is a weird way to design a character with this occupation. And...
It keeps happening. It's like, Cosmo's like, Noelle, you gotta fucking cry, man. And then she becomes Moo 13. I mean, Moo 12.
Rude. So, like, yeah, her whole... She has the Elise gimmick from Sonic 06, where...
Elise!
The entire point of her character, essentially, or at least her plot, part of the plot, is, like, she has to cry in order to summon a great evil, or she becomes a great evil, really. But, yeah, it was actually amazing in the fucking anime, because they use it to make, like, a torture porn scene of Makoto, who is also just a really stupid character. And it's... oh my god, it's amazing. Like, they made this fucking, like, doormat character who was just like, oh, I don't have big tits, and that's my character arc. And it's just like... But also, she's really cute. And she gets abused, but, you know, she's a really nice girl, and everyone likes her. Or everyone doesn't like her, but, you know, the audience likes her. It's a weird thing where it's like you make them sympathetic, but, like, in a weird way that it's just like... It just makes creeps go like, well, I would be her boyfriend, and I would be real nice to her. I don't know. I find it very off-putting and very disturbing.
Also, fucking boob envy needs to die in, like, all forms of media.
Oh god, yeah, no, it's the stupidest shit ever.
Yeah, I just fucking feel like, who cares? Who cares?
I think she's in high school, or at least, like, there are scenes of her in the anime where she's in high school.
Or,
Might have been at college, I don't know.
NOL fucking school thing. So, yeah, Rachel is one of the stupidest character designs out there, and fucking... Of course she's very important to the plot.
Rachel is like a god?
She's a vampire who's like... I gotta observe the things. I don't fucking know!
If I remember correctly, there's an episode of the anime that starts out, like, before the opening. It shows a scene of her, like, just doing whatever, and then she shoots a laser into space and blows up like a thing, and that, like, according to the person I watched it with, CK, that was, like, them resolving, like, an entire game's worth of story in one scene.
She owns a defense system. Some sort of anti-weapon defense system. And I think she shot a satellite that had a living creature in it. Who is a boss in the third game, and it's like a giant Marvel-esque boss that's a 3D model.
So, I don't know what to say about it other than to move on to another problem with this game. The Kai... the Kai of this game is...
brother.
The Kai of this game is, like, a weirdo who, it's the person who, like, keeps abusing Noelle. Also, he has a fetish for killing Ragna?
He looks like an incel. Like, look at this dude.
No, never mind that. I've got a whole bunch of other questions you need to answer. Make it easy on yourself and just stand there while I cut you up.
Whoa, you're asking for quite a bit. I have to say, though, there's enough money on your head to buy a small country. A whole lot of people are looking for Ragna the Blood Edge.
That's got nothing to do with you.
But don't worry. I won't let anyone else touch you. You're all mine. You son of a bitch.
I don't like Kai Kisk, but I hate this dude even more.
Yes, that's it. I'd almost forgotten this feeling.
I think Kai is, like, a necessary evil, and that he's just kind of... They need at least one kind of grounded character.
Yeah. He's like enough nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to, Ragna.
Yeah, this guy's...
Oh shit, the ice car. That was a big meme back then.
This guy's a big fan of ice skating.
This guy's a big fan of Frozen.
He's just like, brother, my favorite movie is Frozen.
He's just like, Ragna, let's watch Norma the North!
Oh god, he is evil.
He's the kind of person who would marathon all Ice Age movies in a single sitting.
What the hell happened there?
I don't... New dire counter for Battle Craze, I'm kidding!
Random freezing, but without the ice.
Yo! I'm a... His mouth moved, but he didn't say anything.
It feels like there's a lot of things... Well, there's a few things in this series that, like, was pretty good, but it's in service of something very bad. Like, the sprites are actually very well made, honestly. It's just... all the designs are either like, weirdly over-designed, or just, like, comically awful.
Yeah. I have to do an extra jumping attack, just for good measure.
I still got a lot of questions, and I think you've got the answers. But I got bigger fish to fry than you right now. So how about we continue this chat later?
Ooh, Ragna, you're so cool. Ragna the Cool Edge.
Oh yeah, here's the Warframe.
Warframe?
It's just a Warframe.
I think this guy is actually pretty neat, at least in terms of, like, moves. But his gimmick is pretty fucking bonkers. So he automatically gets meter, but the thing is, his special moves cost meter, and sometimes it varies.
Talking to yourself? Whatever. I don't have time for you or your shit. Now get out of my way, or I'm gonna rip
It's
that
like,
stupid mask off and make you eat.
he has, like, a basic, like, elbow dash, and then, like, he has, for 3 meters, a slow overhead into a low.
I might have spoke too soon. I think Ragna's the most relatable character in this game.
What did you say?
It is the center of darkness and the source of all evil. Your very existence is a world's worst nightmare. Only your death.
He's like shitty Gray Fox.
It is time for eternal
I killed my soul.
demise.
So
Is
now
he gonna
that
do
you're
the
there,
stupid speech
I'm
thing?
tired of listening to your nonsense. Why don't you drop the hero crap so we can get this over with?
I am the White Void.
Oh god, here it comes.
The cold steel.
Oh, for God's sake.
The just sword.
Oh yeah, another stupid BlazBlue plot thing. Jin is Hakumen.
Fires of I am Hakumen. The end has come.
Come.
The Wheel of Fate is
You could just be lying to me and I would have no way of knowing.
No, that's the truth. Oh yeah, right, he also has counters. His drive is just a counter button.
This honestly does look like a game that I could probably enjoy if I played it with somebody who was, like, you know, similar level to me. Which I guess is all fighting games, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but, like, this game definitely is, like, a little bit, like, difficult. Like, it's definitely, like, you have to dedicate yourself to just, like, one character. Because there's a lot to learn with just one character.
I was gonna make that character, like, his name Azrael,
Yeah.
but after seeing what his gimmick is in Cross Tag, I never want to touch him again.
It works differently in Source game than it does Cross Tag. Like, in Cross Tag, they definitely have to change, like, stuff to make it work in the simplified realm. Like, Hakumen's gimmick is not him automatically getting meter and moves cost meter, but instead, he could do a special move, and if he has meter, he could cancel into another one.
Ah.
And one of the later characters that we'll see, probably, Susanoo, was a character where he had to unlock his special moves. And in cross-tag battle, they were just like, nah, he could do any special move whenever he wants. So they just unchained a gorilla and let him loose.
Cross Tag is a thing.
I enjoy cross-tag, it's just like, what happened to it kinda fucking sucks.
I probably would have enjoyed Cross Tag. Somebody owned it on PC.
Good determination.
Rebel 3. Action.
I know crossplay is kind of a lot to ask for, but
It's like crossplay, good netcode, not having a buttload of DLC to buy.
yeah.
Like, if I had, like, money that I was willing to burn, I wouldn't mind if you were willing to, like, get it and get the two characters that I main, but, like, Susanoo comes in a bundle that is $20, and I don't want to spend $20 just for one character.
It's the same one that has, Is that the one that has Akatsuki in it?
Yeah, but I don't like playing him in that one. Like,
Yeah, he sounds fucking weird.
yeah, he's, like, very different than what we're used to for Akatsuki. I don't like having fucking uppercut not being a command normal.
I thought he was just some freak that wouldn't shut up. It was pretty tough. Damn it.
But he was just some freak who wouldn't shut up who's also strong.
Yeah.
Oh no, the grand reveal.
Oh no, the Kinder Egg is opening.
We're gonna reveal a shitty character. Probably.
Hooray.
I assume it's fucking Robot Lady.
Yeah, it's Robot Lady. Funny enough, like, I think I was introduced to this series, like, after I was first introduced to Gear. I think my brother showed me a trailer for this game, and then, like, I think a year later, or a few years later, I just was on YouTube and I found a video of, like, new 13's theme, and I was like, I wonder what this game is. This game looks pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, this is the epicest boss theme ever, although, like, not really.
Guess I was too late.
Loading. Loading.
Oh god.
Loading. Loading.
Do you really need it 4 fucking times?
It's Ragna!
Oh, for...
I haven't seen you in so long! What is this, the 4th time?
Third.
Aw, looks like somebody's in a
Who's-
bad mood. Are you mad because we couldn't talk the last few
Whose
times?
voice is this?
I've got a bond
Christina
that
V.
can talk now. See?
Of course.
You remember how you hurt me before? It really hurt a lot. I bled
Why
so
wouldn't
much.
Ragna just be like, that's it, I'm gonna push you off this
I
cliff?
know.
Shut up.
Ragna, you're injured. Why don't you heal yourself?
I remember there was an entire episode of the anime where, like, Kokonoe spills some coffee,
Dare talk.
and it causes this lady to just appear, but she doesn't have her memories, and then Ragna just, like, babysits her for a whole episode.
We can
And then,
finally be together.
I think...
Was she yellow?
You
I don't remember. Tager comes and then just takes her away, and then it's just like, alright.
Forgiveness.
don't want to talk, hmm?
Uh,
Perhaps we'll open up after
I
some
think that was Lambda, who was the palette swap for the sequel.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Doesn't really matter. Aren't they like the
Well, there's
same
an interesting
shit?
history about it, so it's like...
They're all just like
Yeah, they were, like,
copies of,
essentially the same
of his
character.
sister or some shit, right?
Yeah, I was actually gonna, like, talk about, like... So, like, New dies at the end of this game, and, of course, they needed a replacement, so you can have, like, play this character in the sequel, so they made Lambda 11. And then Lambda 11 dies at the end of Continuum Shift, and then they brought back New here. And then for the DLC of the 3rd game, they brought back Lambda! Because there were actually, like, some differences in their move list, and they're like, nah, we're gonna split it up again, because New inherited Lambda's moves in the 3rd game, but when that update came around, they split it and made Lambda DLC.
Were they both in Cross Tag?
Only New was.
Right, okay.
They probably thought it would be redundant.
Lambda's the one that just looks like Noelle with no pants on, right?
No, that's Mu 12. Lambda is the color swap of New 13.
Fuck's sake, alright.
Why?
It's impossible, you know. No one can change what happened. This is destiny.
Oh yeah, this whole story has like a plot about like repeating timelines and shit.
Can't be rewritten.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't need anyone telling me what to do!
We fall into each other's arms.
Right, yeah.
Aw, this is so romantic.
Let go of me, you bastard!
There's like a weird...
Your life and my life are the same.
We're not like other people!
You're alive.
This
You definitely won't die.
I also love this is another one of those things where you win by losing.
You can't fight your feelings.
Ja.
Ragna. We're going to be together.
sick of that shit in Bayonetta too.
forever
Like,
and always.
you win, but no, you get a fucking setback or you lose. I hate that shit. I hate it so much.
Destroy everything now. Destroy this whole terrible, awful excuse for a world.
I mean, I'm right there with her, honestly.
Ragna?
Nice mouse.
If there's anything that needs to go, it's the BlazBlue world.
Yeah. Like,
Here's the voice actors you didn't hear.
Bang's follower.
They didn't tell you
What?
who voiced Hakumen.
It's probably Jin's voice actor.
What about New 13?
It's also Noelle.
Right, that's right. Oh yeah, that would make sense because they're like the same character.
Yeah.
Shit.
I know that, like, Central Fiction was like the last game of like the BB story. But then again, we did get Cross Tag Battle, but that was like a stupid spin-off. And a stupid phone game.
BlazBlue has things.
Yeah, and we're gonna skip 2 of the games because they're kind of similar.
You don't want to go through all of them?
No!
Okay.
I mean, second game is just what happened to the anime. Third game, I don't even fucking know.
Why was there a credit for the instruction card?
A Raw Laboratory. Studio Cats!
One of them was giving directions.
I move.
Original cartoon.
It's animation.
A lot of cartoon animating stuff going on here.
Yeah. Artificial. What makes a color artificial?
Those names are like stylized differently?
Oh yeah, right. Daisuke Ishiwatari was the composer for this game.
Oh, that's why some of the music's good then, I guess.
Set.
Southeast.
Game Balance Advisor Mizuchi! Super Crashers.
Melanist.
Arc System Works all staff
In
in random order.
order. We rolled some dice, and that's how we determined the credit order.
Alex Vale? They only got one person to translate the Chinese and French versions?
Yeah, it sounds like that shit is, like, not handled by many people in other countries.
Toshimichi.
Totally not self-inserting himself as, I don't know, one of the awful characters. Probably Jin.
Oh yeah, everybody has a weird, over-designed emblem thing. And I'm like, who has the time to draw all of that shit?
Oh boy, BlazBlue gags. Flat versus Bus. BlazBlue Central Fiction gags number 4.
Time skip. So yeah, this roster is fucking big now.
Damn it is.
And, arcade mode is split into, like, 3 different acts, which really only changes, like, the story, like, what rivals you fight, and, like, the boss at the end.
There's something about the art of this game.
Yeah! Like... Again, I said that the art of this game has always been... of this series has always been, like, really inconsistent, like... Fucking... You remember the Calamity Trigger art, how dull everything looked, and yeah, there's this nobody.
I literally have never seen this character before. Who the fuck is this?
This is apparently that, the dude with the big sword, Kagura, his, like, assistant, and I was told that, like, he had, like, some subplot where he was going to murder him, but they just forgot about it.
Genuinely have never seen this character before. That's really weird.
Yeah, remember when I told you about that, like, roster thing? But then again, it is...
Actually, I'd say that the guy that we're playing as in this video, I don't know why I say we all the time, is like, I was actually really into playing him in, Cross Tag. Until Cross Tag, I had never seen him before. I genuinely had no idea who he was. And
He was introduced in this game, and he apparently comes from a manga series based off of BlazBlue.
oh, they're gonna say he comes from King of Fighters because is K-Dash, but
He just is a lot of KOF characters, and it's like, I remember you saying that, like, what interests you about this character is that he's so milquetoast in this game, where it's, like, kind of charming.
yeah, he's like easily the best character by virtue of not being stupid. Like, he's very anime, but not, like, in any way that's really annoying, just in just a very mundane sort of way.
Yeah, it's not like he's talking about fucking sex.
I don't really know what his deal is. I don't really care.
I don't know either, but I think he's supposed to be like the next Ragna the Blood Edge, because he has Ragna's powers.
It is weird how, like, they did make all these sequels, but they never really moved the game forward. Like, it had the Guilty Gear thing of, like, they stuck with this one sprite style, so it almost feels like it's just, like, it's not like a Street Fighter 2 thing.
Yeah,
It actually were, like, just sequels with, like, new mechanics and, like, new
yeah,
story.
that's kind of half of the reason why I decided to just skip Continuum Shift and Chrono Phantasma. Because, like, honestly, if they are just, like, this similar... Like, for the most part, it is really just additions that they put onto the game.
So this is, a character that I remember hearing about because they were doing
The next Battle Craze character had some inspiration from this one.
No.
Oh.
So it's like a dude, right?
Yeah, Amane's a dude.
Okay. I remember hearing that it's just like, oh, they're still doing characters like this, and it's like, I don't know, maybe they'll do it tastefully, who knows. And then I never heard about him again.
I wouldn't know either, but I do think that this dude has some style.
This thing, it all depends on, like, story, really. Like, in-game,
Yeah.
it's all gonna look good, but it very much depends on the writing.
And Lord knows that I'm not gonna go through all of that story just to find out.
And bye!
Goodbye! Fuck, he's got text on his fucking cleavage.
Is this art drawn by anybody notable?
I
Do you
don't
know?
know.
Okay. It reminds me of something, but I'm not gonna go into that. Interesting portrait usage. Capital Boundary.
Oh no, Battle Craze!
He's gonna come out of a portal. Oh no!
Oh.
What happened to him? He turned into a Persona character.
God damn it. This is just some random character that Mori was like, yeah, we could put her in. This is apparently, like, the caregiver for Ragna and Jin, but, like, they're just like, I'm gonna go back in time and we're gonna pull her out and we're gonna make her fight.
We're gonna make sure she's incredibly young. Because why wouldn't we?
Yeah. Again, it's like, they pull out characters that I don't think that they, like, should.
So this is
Not
one
that they have, like...
This is the thing where, like, they already had a puppet character. Why do they have another one?
This actually isn't a puppet character, it's just... This character can't fight, so they just gave her a mech.
But...
Literally. Fucking literally, like...
What? What?
I don't fucking know!
Then why is
It's
she
not like-
there?
I don't know! It's like, they don't have, like, bad ideas for, like, some of these characters. It's just like, why this one? Instead of, like, somebody who could have, like, some impact, like, somebody completely new, like Azrael did. Like, really, Azrael was, like, one of the only, like, Chrono Phantasma characters that was, like, memorable. Because then there was Amane, and then there was Bullet.
Oh, Christ, Bullet. Forgot about her. It's pretty easy, too, considering what the fuck's... Who the fuck? Alright, well that was pointless. Great.
Wow. Great. I'm gonna go to Sunday school because I realized I just had the cross on my shoulder. Wow, I really like how slow this text is going.
Why does every robot girl in this game series have, like, crotch plate things?
She doesn't have a crotch plate.
It's
Oh, no, the mechs.
Yeah.
You probably know why. And the answer is going to put us in jail.
That was an animation.
Scroll faster!
You're great, thanks.
You beat me up, and it was like, great.
Oh god, back here again.
Yeah, like... There's definitely, like, a difference between, like, the newer sprite styles of, later BB characters than, like, the ones from the beginning. Like, I really just can't, like, put it, but there's definitely, like, more fluidity in, like, the new characters.
Yeah, I mean, and the sprites always look kind of nice, I'll give them that.
Yeah? Like, that's definitely, like, the biggest point that BlazBlue has going for it. It's got really nice looking sprites.
And that's why they decided to reanimate Noelle with a new outfit. Because that, you know, effort couldn't have gone anywhere else.
Yeah.
Attention!
Active flow!
What
Oh yeah, right. Bursts now serve another purpose in this one. You could either use your burst to burst, or you could use it to power yourself up, which has unique properties depending on what character you have. It's interesting that they're like, you could either get out of a combo, or you could just power yourself up. Oh, we're not gonna see Tsubaki, but just the powered-up version of Tsubaki? Okay.
How do you say that? Is Izayoi?
Izayoi.
Izayoi? She's Izayoi.
Yeah.
So that's Tsubaki, right?
Yeah, that's Tsubaki.
Or there's another character they just, like, reanimated?
Yeah, they're like, here's a form change, she's a completely different character, and she's got completely different moves and mechanics.
I guess fuck you if you like the old one?
I mean, the old one is still there.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah, like...
She just takes up
nobody,
2
like...
slots because fuck you.
Yes! And Noelle takes up 2 slots, or, like, multiple, technically speaking.
God, okay.
Like, I think in this game, they're, like... At one point, it was, like... In the 3rd game, Noelle can just turn into Mu 12 whenever she wants, because, like... I guess she was like, I learned how to control this power, but in this game, it's like, nah, I split apart. You You need to destroy things. Fuck you. This is also the game where, like, Kazuma split away from Terumi, because, like, they didn't need to have that.
Oh, yeah. Hazuma is a character that I heard a lot about because his design is really cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
And he eats egg. Hey, I'm back!
I'm gonna drink this fryer oil.
Oh, this guy. They had, like,
Yeah.
the poor man's Slayer.
They're like, what if Slayer, instead of a vampire, is a wolf?
What if instead of Team Edward, it was Team Jacob?
God damn it. Falkenhayn has some cool stuff, but he's no Slayer.
Just remember that, like, random horror game I found on Steam where it has a bunch of DLC where you can play as the characters dressed as BlazBlue characters?
You can be Iron Taker in a horror game.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, it was like some lady cosplaying as Tager. Strange.
I don't know. I said silence, F-Zero extended OST.
Okay, this guy is not nearly as cool as Slayer.
The wheel of fate is turning. Level 1.
He has nice looking moves, he does cool stuff as a wolf, it's just that, like, Slayer had some really unique stuff, like the way he blocks, his stomp, his jumping slash.
I'm leaving. So, dare I ask how this character works mechanically?
His drive button turns him into a wolf. And he has different moves, and he has beast cannon.
Of course he does.
I mean, look, I was gonna say, like, it doesn't make sense for Beowulf, but, he has a wolf on him, at least, but still, that's stupid to give to a grappler.
I mean, it's a Skullgirls character. It doesn't really matter.
Nah.
At that point, they're just gonna do whatever the fuck they want, because making references is better than, like, having any sort of identity.
It's like, these characters have a lot of stuff in them, but not nearly to the extent as Skullgirls, where, like, characters have, like, 2 unique traits. Or 3. And normals that work like special moves.
They also have, like, level 1s, and level 3s, and level 5s, and I think even some in between. It's fucking weird. Oh man, I could cook? Hell yeah.
Man, I'm gonna slurp that fucking sloop. Sloop? Okay. Is there any characters worth talking about that we haven't yet?
Well,
It's hard to say, I know, BlazBlue.
worth talking about in what respect? We haven't talked about Taokaka. She's awful. We haven't really talked about Makoto. She's awful. I think, yeah, Noelle, in my eyes, holds the trophy for worst character. Makoto has the worst outfit. Like, there's not a worse outfit in any video game than that.
I was gonna say Mai.
No. It's like, Mai's outfit, like, looks fine from the front. It looks really weird from the back, but... And then she has, like, the tail thing, which is kind of cool. With the giant
Makoto.
bead on it. No, Mai. Like, not the literal tail, but, like, whatever the fuck that thing is.
The Ahoge?
I don't know.
This is
The thing with the giant bead on it.
thing with a giant bead on it. Oh, I was talking about Mai Natsume from BlazBlue, not Mai Shiranui.
Oh, right. There was a character named Mai in this game. I actually forgot. Hers is pretty dumb, but it's not anywhere as bad as Makoto's.
Okay.
Forgot about her. That was... I don't even know if I want to go into all that, but...
Similar bike and stuff, and then Discord is going to stop me from saying anything else, but short thing is, people have different views on this character, but I will not defend that design. The end.
Yeah, it's like the... She's like the manga character, right?
She was also a manga character where, yeah.
Which, as far as I understand it, and I might actually have this wrong, it was like this weird self-insert thing where the author was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I was a girl and I did girl things, which includes basically a lot of fan service bullshit? So it was like something that could have been done admirably, but done very poorly.
I'm looking this up right now, because I am not sure.
That is what I've heard from somebody who knows more about it than me. I mean, that's the thing. It could be entirely different, but it's also, like, in BlazBlue, so I just don't care. But
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
assuming that it's awful is also very easy for me, because this game has Rachel and Lychee and Makoto.
Yeah.
And
And
Noelle.
S. Like, S is a like, when it
Oh,
comes to
God.
all the BlazBlue characters, S is the one that makes me feel the most uncomfortable.
That's like the little girl with just, like, the giant tits, right?
Yes!
Like, they
And
are...
I was a part of a server where somebody was, like, really liked S because of that, and I couldn't even bear to just say that shit, but fortunately, I left, because that person turned out to be an asshole.
It's like just an Arcana Heart character.
Yeah.
Like, that's another character I had never heard of before until Cross Tag. What the fuck?
Please just do Ralph's SDM.
What the fuck is this? Rachel Alucard.
Rachel.
カードどういうこと？お父様の血族は私以外いないはず。
I wasn't expecting cutscenes in this.
I wasn't expecting this.
あなた本当に一体
That's it, I'm
bye.
out of here.
今のはテイ魔法。黒金直人
Oh,
知らない。知らないはずよ。なのにどうしてこんな
Oh
に
my
苦しいの
god.
I guess? You know what? Fuck it. I know that the next character is going to be Nine the Phantom, because this is the end of the arcade run.
Oh right, yeah,
And
they brought in fucking oh, what the hell's that game called? The beat 'em up with the wizard lady with the tits. They brought in her.
I don't know what beat 'em up with the wizard lady with the tits.
Oh god, what the fuck is that game called? I actually like that game, but it had the sorceress in it.
Oh, Dragon's Crown?
Dragon's Crown, that was it. Yeah, I was like, Dragon's Lair? No, that's not it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is just the poor man's Tessa from Red Earth.
Yeah, there's a little
like-
bit of that.
I love this stage, but I hate this character.
I mean, look at this animation. That tells you everything you need to know.
That's not how boobs work. This is like, are they creatures? Is that the power of witchcraft? Does it make your tits move?
I mean, probably, knowing this series. I wonder if she keeps the Tessa mentality of getting naked hugging things.
Ugh. I think there is like a CG from like the story mode where like she's stepping on Ragna and you like see like directly upwards of her, so you're supposed to see her cleavage, but it just looks like that Ragna just pulled his pants down and he has like fucking dummy thick cheeks.
I thought gonna say you get to see her feet.
Cheeked up Ragna! I don't know how this fucking character works.
Well, I can't wait to see her in Battle Craze.
I am not putting her in Battle Craze.
You say that.
Yeah, I say that, but Arc System Works does not know who we are, and I would not take the offer.
I was making a joke, but even I feel like a little mean saying that now. Look at this shit.
No, I understand. I understand that you were joking. It's just I don't like this character. I don't want her to touch the integrity of Battle Craze. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about fucking Susanoo now. He's the evil Hakumen, but he's way cooler.
Couldn't give less of a shit.
I like him, but I understand. It's hard to like BlazBlue things because it's tied to BlazBlue.
Yeah, like there's one character who I'm like kind of into, and I'm sorry, hearing Wesker say absolute violence is just like, Christ almighty, this game.
He's like, absolute violence. That's a one-course meal.
And again, this game wasn't dubbed, so I guess that was for cross-tag?
They skipped the dub so they could get it overseas quicker, because that would also mean they would have to dub all of the story.
That's what I mean, though, like, they didn't dub this, so whenever they had to dub the characters in this game, it was just in cross-tag.
Any characters that were introduced, Azrael was actually dubbed in Chrono Phantasma, because that was the game he was introduced in.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, it was like, they had to dub Naoto, 9, Susanoo, S, Mai. Not Jubei, because Jubei actually was voiced in older games in the story mode.
It's weird how many characters they introduced in this one game. Like... Oh, Jesus.
Damn, girl, eat a burger or something. You got fucking... Like, I feel like if I fucking punch your waist, you're gonna fall over. Wow, Persona TV.
Everything will return to the void somewhere between my tits. I like the stylistic choice of making everything lowercase for no reason.
So yeah, that's BlazBlue, but a shorthand version of it, which is for the better.
So there's like a second half of his story mode?
2 other halves in the other acts.
Ugh. That was a third of it. Fuck me.
We're not gonna watch it. I don't care.
That's insane.
We talked about this game. That's enough.
That's insane for an arcade mode. Like,
It made a little bit more sense when they were like doing the Loka tests and like just getting the game out in Japanese arcades, because like they rolled each of those acts out like one at a time.
We didn't talk about Platinum the Trinity.
It's better that we don't, but shorthand, make sure you do some research before you write about mental health disorders, thank you. We're not going to see the awful character select screen.
Oh god, yeah, it's terrible.
And this game also doesn't have an arcade mode.
What?
I believe I'm fighting with a toy. What did you say?
So this is the Capcom fighting jam of the modern era, but it's actually like a pretty good game.
I'd say it's a fun game. I don't know if I'd call it good. It's got a
Yeah, I think it's
lot
definitely
of...
like more fun than it is like good, because if you face against any Adachi player, you know that your life bar is going to be gone. Both of your characters' life bars.
Christ almighty, where do I even start? They made a really shitty version of Dragon Stall. Oh god. So this game is one round. Yeah, this game is one round.
Yeah.
Why is this game one round? It's so stupid.
Like, at higher level play, it definitely does beg the question why there's just one round.
It's dumbed down like crazy. It's like 2 buttons.
It's 2 buttons, you have an overhead button and like a partner button.
And then there's also just a button that's a reversal move.
You press 2 buttons and everybody has a universal reversal, but it does vary depending on the character. Like,
Don't fall in love with me now.
don't ask me about that, I don't know Persona.
Yeah, so we didn't touch on Persona 4 Arena because neither of us know anything about it, but it is another ArcSys game that they crossed over together to make this. Also, other wonderful IPs, Arcana Heart, Akatsuki Blitzkampf,
Senran Kagura and Ruwibi.
and yeah, the Machinima animated Ruby. Oh my god. Okay, that outfit is pretty bad.
Yeah,
And, Jesus Christ, the Ruby characters. Like, the sprites of them look so fucking weird.
I know that they were actually like twice the size of the BlazBlue sprites, or like just a bit bigger.
The Arcana Heart character is new sprites, but it uses the old game's art style, so they don't even fit, even though they're completely unique to this game.
Yeah, it's fucking like with the BlazBlue and the Persona stuff. It's like, yeah, that fits, but like with Under Night, it's like a completely different sprite style. Where like, if you put those two things side by side, you are gonna see some like stark differences. But with like the new Arcana Heart stuff, it's like, are you sure you didn't make this for Million Arthur Arcana Blood? Wait, that means we could have gotten fucking Iori in this game.
Oh man, or someone from Trials of Mana, which is still a thing I can't believe.
What? Really? They had a Trials of Mana character in that game?
Yeah, not like a good one, but...
Oh. And you know what else is funny? We completely forgot about Dengenki Bunko fighting Climax. They could have had Akira Yuki. Time warp. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, Dengenki Bunko fighting Climax, which also has Under Night sprite style, and also guest characters, so that means we could have had Virtua Fighter's Akira Yuki in here, or the amazing, what's-his-face from Sword Art Online.
Are you saying a character from that was in this game?
No, I was saying that they could have, if they were ballsy enough, but I think I remember hearing in an interview that Mori wanted a character from the Avatar series, not the James Cameron one, I'm talking about Last Airbender Korra. And I'm kind of sad that this game just kind of died before we could have seen that happen.
God, there's a lot of new dubs for this game, and oh my god, there's so many weird ones.
Athena, please! Athena! My other self!
Elbow? Spin, spin, spin!
Taco Bell!
I'm impressed. I can't judge a book by its cover.
They did do a lot of, like, team-up dialogue, which is admirable.
Yeah. I love that Azrael face.
This dude's great. I love this guy. He's
Yeah.
He's DC Douglas?
Yeah, DC
Yeah.
Douglas.
I always feel like I'm gonna get that name wrong, but
Stay out of my way, or I'll be dining on 3 people.
Can't escape from crossing
We swear he's not a cannibal, guys. Guys.
his gimmick is so fucking weird. It's like if you hit a normal and then press the normal button again on the same exact frame that it connects, it does more. It's
It does more hit stun, which is very important for combos.
I found it just completely intolerable.
Which is completely different from the way that his gimmick worked in BlazBlue itself, where he put weak points on the opponent.
One thing I do like about this game, just by virtue of the characters they selected, they have a lot of, like, cool punchy characters.
Yeah.
There's, like, a lot of characters that are, like, just...
Naruto.
Yeah. Fucking, one of the Ruby characters is actually pretty fun to play.
Yeah, Yang Xiaolong, who's, like, the most Western Chinese character that I've ever seen, but I don't know if she's actually Chinese, but she's really fun to play.
And if you... What the fuck? If you play her, you're gonna hear her theme. What I assume is her theme all the time, because...
And it mentioned Super Saiyan.
They gave her, like, the Jin Satome, like, power-up when near death thing, but then her theme plays, and because it's one round, like, if you use her on the beginning of your team, you're just gonna hear that theme all the time.
It fucking sucks.
It's got
No,
some
what are
weird
you
singing
doing?
in it.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight.
Yeah, there's like... This is like the most exposure I've gotten to these Ruby characters, and fucking, like... I was like, did Ruby Rose always sound this awful? And then I was explained, well, she was pregnant when they recorded the lines for this game.
Right, yeah, there was this thing where, like, she sounds, like, fucking awful in this, and basically what it sounds like is that she was not prepared for this level of, like, shouting, because, like, whenever she screams and does, like, a really, like, exertive attack, she sounds, like, really strained.
Yeah, and even in, like, some clips of the original Ruby, I'm like, this is still pretty awful. I can't imagine people sitting through... I can't imagine people sitting through Ruby, let's just face it there.
Honestly, yeah, like, it's amazing to me that it crossed over into this. Like, the fact that anyone gives a shit about it enough to put it in a game is beyond me. It's in Smite, too, which is super weird.
I know the reason why they put it in this game was because Mori was friends with Ruby's creator, Monty and I guess he did it just because, I guess it was a tribute to his friend.
Fair enough, I guess, yeah. Oh, these are 2 designs.
Mika is a character that I feel like would be fine if she just had a shirt.
Yeah, it's like, there's a really good character here hidden behind this bizarrely awful outfit.
Are you ready for Taco Bell? Can't escape from crossing fate.
Liv Moss. Dun.
I don't... I remember the outfit being worse, but I think it's just because some of the palettes get rid of parts of it.
Yeah.
There's like this thing where it's like, May is really funny because it's a little girl with a big anchor. So we made a little girl with big gloves. Then, well, yeah,
Remember when you were 5 years old and you played with Hulk hands?
her dub, by the way, is like so unfitting. Like,
She sounds like she's like 13.
she sounds like she's in her mid-20s. It's fucking weird.
This is another monotone robot-like character, and I fucking hate her. Please kill her.
Oh, they have a lot of
Thanks.
that, don't they?
It's over. Just stay down.
Thank you, Naoto. I couldn't have said it better myself. Ice Shard!
It's Ice Shard.
Shard! Ice Shard! It's Ice Shard! That's her name.
Every day's great. You're Junas.
You're just in time for the ball.
So dance like mad, you fools.
The weird scaling effect made her sprite look like it was, like, pulsating. It's weird, yeah, like, all the Ruby sprites, because I remember, like, one of the last things I grabbed from Yugen was, like, a conversion of Yang, I think, just to see what that was. And it's like,
Yeah.
the sprites are huge, but they have no detail?
Yeah, they're like... I did say that, like, there was some difference between newer BB sprites and older ones. Like, they definitely, like, curved on the detail in later ones, but, like, not to the extent of the Ruby characters.
I can do this on my own.
Right, yeah,
Like,
so
Rice is so smooth! I mean, I'm sorry, Ice Shard.
Ice Shard. I will say Yang has a really good Japanese dub.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
She has some, like, Jun Kubota vibes going on.
Yeah. Could you imagine if they somehow just brought back Variable Geo from the dead and put it in this game?
It would be far from the worst use of that IP.
Like, it fucking sucks that there weren't any more characters, since the last update, cause, like... Oh, the thought of so many Akatsuki BlitzConf characters just redrawn and, like, brought to a new audience would have been so cool, but
Yeah,
we only got Blitz.
They could have done fucking anything, and they did Blitz Tank. It's like, instead of having a character, here's just a joke.
And it's kind of fucked up, because, like, Blitztank is, like, a person is in there.
I'm glad Wallstein didn't dignify that with a response.
I'm glad I'm no longer following that one person that was obsessed with Makoto and a bunch of other terrible designs.
I wonder why they would be.
Yeah! It's like crappy designs beget crappy people.
Here's a fun exercise. This is... I genuinely mean this. What the... Go to, like, just like one of those, like, fan wikis for BlazBlue, and look at the page for, Makoto, and just read the description of, like, what she's wearing, and tell me it doesn't sound like it's part of some sort of, like, erotic fiction.
I'm gonna do that right now, while I ignore, Torbjornstein. Makoto BlazBlue. Like, BlazBlue wiki / fandom is fine?
I don't know, just one of them.
Okay. Makoto is a scroll-type demi-human lung lady, yes.
Lung lady.
Every day's great.
With short brown hair, a big curly brown tail, hazel eyes, and
Failure is not an option. Let's stay
large
focused
breasts.
and deal with it. Very
Well then, it's very important we knew that.
Just as we theorized.
Oh yeah, Mitsuru is pretty cool.
Crossing fate.
Yeah, there's some Persona designs I actually really like. Kanji. There's a punchy guy, I forget his name. He's pretty cool.
Akihiko.
Yes. Chie?
Chie, I don't use, but yeah, I can see.
She's just really cool. I just like the design.
We can still do this. First, what an attack.
Oh, we haven't seen Merkava in this game, so I can't be like, is he gonna do the missile line normal? Is he gonna do the astral finish?
Actually, there's a lot of fencing characters in this game, too.
Yeah.
There's at least 3. Which is interesting.
Yeah. And like, all of them have like a forward advancing move that's just the big poke. For a second, I thought you were talking about fucking Neapolitan for a second, and I forgot about Ice Shard.
Oh, yeah. Neapolitan, just fucking Christ. I never heard of that character before, and, you could just guess what she looks like based on the name. Get it?
Oh god, here she comes!
This is
And
fun!
here's Icus too! My armor!
Oh, is that who says that?
Yeah, Icus is the one that says my armor. Who did you
Oh my
think
God.
said it?
I thought that was like a joke.
Look at all these weapons! So cool! Your eyes are so sparkly that I'm almost blushing.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Fucking, Ruby's weapon is a gun scythe, and I think it's, like, really weirdly designed. And then, like, I was talking with Evil Homer about Super Robot Wars, and he showed me a robot that has also a gun scythe, but it looks a little bit more practical, because the gun is the handle itself, not the end.
I've seen a review of Ruby, so I know a lot more about it than you would think. It's like every one of the characters has a weapon that is also a gun, which is like they took the stupid gunblade joke and just made a bunch of gun blank. So we have gun gauntlets and gun rapier and
Gun gauntlets actually work, but then there's, like, whatever Blake has.
it's like a gun whip.
It's like dual pistols with, like, blades that are also extendable? I don't fucking know.
Some damn mess. Blake Belladonna.
She's actually a cat girl.
Oh right, that's like a plot point because in that universe there's like a race war against animal people. Because
Please
Jesus
don't
Christ.
write about race stuff if you're not gonna be, like, handle it with a delicate hand.
Wow, what a ripoff.
Oh shit, he's doing the boundary win pose.
Oh good. Here's her fucking eyes, I forget about that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then they spreaded an entirely new blitz tank for this game. Your outline?
Yeah, something's going on here.
That wasn't supposed to happen. This is just reminding me, we need to do a watch of ABK.
Oh, we do, absolutely.
Yeah, because there's, like, the PC actually, there's, like, the first one in 2003, Akatsuki Shisei Ichigo.
Oh, yeah.
The PC version, the arcade version, and then N-Eins.
It's a series with a bit of history for something that, like, no one's played. Which is a shame, because it's a very good game.
I think it has, like, its following, it's just, pretty, underground. But I'm at least glad that, like, Akatsuki and Blitztank were able to show up in the West with, Uni and BB Tag.
Oh, they gave Blitztank something of a win animation.
Hey, it's better than just his eyes blinking. They're going,
I remember it used to be like just the regular stance, but slowed down.
Sure. You're not just a toy. You're something much more than that.
Right, yeah, just
So, I
weird
guess-
characters have like crossover dialogue. It's pretty verbose.
Yeah, I mean, BlazBlue is no stranger to weird dialogue.
What a game.
What a series.
Fucking Neapolitan. Jeez. Fuck. Koski didn't have a... I don't think he has a DP in that game.
Yeah, he doesn't have, human cannon in that game, which is really fucking weird.
Like, they have a reversal button, but it's just like his counter.
Yeah, it's just a counter.
Jesus. Ruby is disappointing, and here's why.
It's funny that they have down motions for characters sometimes, but like they didn't use it for him.